Hey everyone, welcome. On this channel, we're going to get into an advanced look at the story Disastrous Necromancer. Come with me as we unravel the journey of Lin Moyu, from his beginnings to him becoming a force to be reckoned with in a mysterious new world. If this story sounds like something you'll enjoy, please like, share, and comment. Your support helps us keep providing these in-depth looks into the world of Disastrous Necromancer. Now let's continue.
The skeleton generals began to roam the arena again, not searching for cities but directly looking for giant beasts. Lin Moyu knew that as long as he had the tokens, he could take the initiative. Shortly after the alien leader was killed, a beam of light shot straight into the sky. Contestant number 4 has obtained a token. The array has started guiding markers, and you can follow the markers to find contestant number 4, asterisk. The array displayed guiding markers, allowing others to find contestant number 4. Senior brother Zhuang got a token? Lin Moyu thought for a moment and summoned 100 skeleton generals. He handed the token he had obtained to one of the skeleton generals. Go, take this to senior brother Zhuang. The 100 skeleton generals immediately followed the guiding markers, flying towards Zhuang Bai's location. Lin Moyu knew that Zhuang Bai must be with Chu Shang. He had already obtained one token, and now he was sending another one over. They just needed to find the corresponding stone tablets. The 100 skeleton generals were also there to protect them. If Wei Bowen or Dongfang Zi tried to snatch their tokens, the 100 skeleton generals would be enough to ensure their safety. Of course, Zhuang Bai and Chu Shang were not weak either, at least not weaker than the two from the White Tiger Star domain. Lin Moyu was just being cautious, a habit he had developed over many years. The 4 domain lords were now staring intently at Lin Moyu. Bai Binger asked curiously, why doesn't he go to the first layer? Wu Da murmured, it seems they want to find more tokens and eliminate others. Yi Qingshan shook his head, he let Dongfang Zi and Wei Bowen go earlier, which seems contradictory to what he's doing now. Bai Binger frowned, I don't understand what he's trying to do. Zhu Tian laughed, what's so hard to understand? With his ability, he could have eliminated everyone in the 3rd layer if he wanted to. He didn't do it in the 3rd layer, and he won't do it now. The others looked at Zhu Tian, knowing he understood Lin Moyu better than they did. Bai Binger huffed, stop being mysterious, just tell us. Zhu Tian said, this kid has a strong curiosity. He wants to get to the bottom of everything. Once he discovers the characteristics of the simulated spirit array, he will definitely explore further, so he won't eliminate these people. Bai Binger's eyes widened, you mean he's using these people as his exploration tools? Zhu Tian shook his head, that's too harsh. Let's call them game partners. Wu Da interrupted, it's the same thing. This kid is clever, I like him. Yi Qingshan pondered, curiosity can be both good and bad. Many geniuses in human history have died because of their curiosity. There are many dangerous places in the world. That's why the human race has strict permission systems. Without strength, wandering around can lead to death. Even God sovereigns, even we, find some places dangerous. Actually, the places God kings can go are very limited. Yi Qingshan looked at Zhu Tian, old Zhu, if you get a chance, advise him not to be too curious. He once had a disciple with great potential who died exploring an unknown place due to excessive curiosity. Bai Binger frowned, if you can't say it, I will. As a domain lord, he should give me some face. The Shu family ancestor spoke at this moment, everyone has their own path. Do not interfere. The words of the Beyond Realm ancestor were absolute. The 4 domain lords dared not disobey and put away their thoughts. The competition continued. The 100 skeleton generals, flying at an astonishing speed of 150,000 kilometers per second, quickly found Zhuang Bai and Chu Shang. Receiving the token brought by the skeleton generals and seeing that they had no intention of leaving, Zhuang Bai understood Lin Moyu's intention. He immediately began searching for the corresponding stone tablets. As they searched, a stream of light approached rapidly. Dongfang Zi arrived, his expression extremely unfriendly, but seeing the 100 skeleton generals, he snorted angrily and turned away without hesitation. Soon after, Wei Bowen also arrived and reacted the same way as Dongfang Zi. They were not afraid of the 100 skeleton generals, but they knew Lin Moyu had far more than 100 skeleton generals. If they got entangled, more skeleton generals would come, and even the God Sovereign skeleton might appear. Wei Bowen and Dongfang Zi were not fools, they wouldn't do something so reckless. Lin Moyu was too strong now, and they had no choice but to retreat. Not long after they left, Cheng Fei arrived. She didn't leave or retreat. Seeing the skeleton generals, Cheng Fei showed a knowing expression. Lin Moyu's actions made her realize that he was not only powerful but also meticulous in his thinking. Cheng Fei showed no malice, so Zhuang Bai and Chu Shang didn't attack. The skeleton generals just watched without making any moves. Ching Fei cupped her fists towards Zhuang Bai and Chu Shang. Senior brothers, may I ask what symbols are on your tokens? Zhuang Bai was slightly taken aback, pondering Ching Fei's intention. Chu Shang was more direct. Sister, just say what you want. I'm straightforward and don't like beating around the bush. Ching Fei said, I found 2 stone tablets. If your tokens match, it will save a lot of effort. If they don't match, I can still contact you if I find anything, and we can share information. Zhuang Bai understood her intention. Having tokens was not enough, they also needed the stone tablets. But nothing comes for free. Zhuang Bai knew Ching Fei must have a request. Zhuang Bai said, state your request. Ching Fei smiled and got straight to the point. I found a giant beast. Although I can kill it, it will take considerable effort. Given the current situation, apart from junior brother Lin, we are in chaos. I can protect myself, but after a big fight, I will be weakened. Zhuang Bai understood. All right, we'll help you kill the giant beast, and you help us find the stone tablets. He took out the tokens and showed the symbols on them. One token had the symbol for 7, and the other had the symbol for 6. These symbols were in ancient script, which none of them recognized, but they could remember them. Ching Fei pointed to the token with the symbol for 6. What a coincidence, I know where the stone tablet for this token is. Zhuang Bai was delighted. Great, let's kill the giant beast first, and then you can take us to the stone tablet. Suddenly, 2 figures formed from water descended from the sky. Shui Xilin and her companion arrived, making Zhuang Bai and Chu Shang wary. Shui Xilin spoke softly, Senior brothers, senior sister Ching Fei, may I join you? She pointed to the token with the symbol for 7. I know where the stone tablet for this token is. Due to Lin Moyu's influence, Zhuang Bai and Chu Shang unknowingly benefited. Although Ching Fei and Shui Xilin didn't try to curry favor with Lin Moyu, they also didn't want to offend him. A woman's intuition told them that maintaining a good relationship with Lin Moyu would only bring benefits, not harm. However, directly approaching Lin Moyu was difficult, so they instinctively chose to befriend Zhuang Bai and Chu Shang. Ching Fei had interacted with Lin Moyu before and could roughly gauge his character from their brief conversations. Seeing the skeleton generals, she knew she had made the right choice. Lin Moyu sending the skeleton generals over proved that Zhuang Bai and Chu Shang held some significance in his eyes. Moreover, during the competition, they seemed to be always together with Lin Moyu, at least as good friends. Shui Xilin had her own thoughts. She knew her strength was slightly inferior to Ching Fei and Dongfang Zi. Much of her combat power relied on her 3 minor god-level puppets. If she faced a giant beast alone, her puppets could easily get damaged, affecting her combat power and putting her at a disadvantage in the next stage of the competition. Therefore, choosing to cooperate was a very good strategy. Besides, Shui Xilin had further plans, which she hadn't revealed yet. Zhuang Bai and Chu Shang naturally had no reason to refuse the cooperation request from Ching Fei and Shui Xilin. After all, it was beneficial to them. After some discussion, the 4 decided to first deal with the known giant beasts and then search for the corresponding stone tablets. As long as they had the tokens, they would have the initiative. Lin Moyu, through the skeleton generals, knew that the 4 had started cooperating. He smiled. Smart people, this win-win approach is not bad. He could guess Ching Fei and Shui Xilin's intentions. With their help, Zhuang Bai and Chu Shang would have no problem entering the first layer. Ching Fei and Shui Xilin might even escort Zhuang Bai and Chu Shang to the first layer first, as a gesture of goodwill. A day later, Zhuang Bai, Chu Shang, Ching Fei, Shui Xilin, and Shui Xilin's follower successfully killed 3 giant beasts and obtained 3 tokens. Including the tokens Zhuang Bai and Chu Shang already had, they now had 5 tokens, just enough for each of them. However, only 3 of the tokens had corresponding stone tablets. They still needed to find the other 2. Suddenly, they all received a message simultaneously. Contestant number 3 has entered the first layer. Asterisk. Chu Shang exclaimed, that guy is lucky. Ching Fei said, I didn't expect him to be the first. Zhuang Bai shook his head, if it weren't for us, junior brother Lin should have been the first. Shui Xilin shook her head, it doesn't really matter who is first. Just like when we entered the second layer, new rules will only be announced once everyone is in. Chu Shang agreed, Sister Xilin is right. We don't need to rush, we should proceed steadily. Ching Fei said, I think we can start looking for the stone tablets now. They had the tokens, now they just needed the stone tablets. They already knew the locations of 3 stone tablets, but 2 were still missing. Shui Xilin suggested, according to our previous agreement, should we escort the 2 senior brothers to the first layer first? Chu Shang immediately shook his head, no need, no need. Let's find the other 2 stone tablets first, then enter the first layer. Ching Fei looked at Zhuang Bai, who said, I have no objections. Ching Fei nodded, all right then. Zhuang Bai glanced at Chu Shang, sensing a hint of flattery in his words. Not just now, but throughout the day, Chu Shang had been echoing Shui Zilan's words. Zhuang Bai knew Chu Shang well. His intentions were obvious. Despite his rough appearance, Chu Shang was quite shrewd. Shui Zilan didn't seem to mind Chu Shang's behavior. In fact, she seemed quite happy. The group began searching for the stone tablets. They leveled city after city, quickly eliminating the simulated enemies within. Another day passed, and they finally found all the stone tablets. The Human Emperor Network's reminder appeared again. Contestant number 6 has entered the first layer, asterisk. Wei Bowen had also entered. Ching Fei took a deep breath, let's go in too. Now, they just needed to reach the stone tablets to enter the first layer. As they were about to part ways, Shui Zilan suddenly took out 5 fist-sized dolls. These are my heartfelt puppets. They have no other function but to locate each other. When we enter the first layer, we can use these puppets to find each other and continue cooperating. Everyone agreed to Shui Zilan's proposal. They had realized the benefits of cooperation. It was not only easy but also safe. Although it might be slightly less efficient, this competition wasn't a race against time, so there was no need to rush for first place. The difference between finishing first and last wasn't significant. Ching Fei took a heartfelt puppet, see you in the first layer. Chu Shang and Zhuang Bai also took a heartfelt puppet each. The 5 then parted ways, each heading towards their respective stone tablets. Chu Shang kept his eyes on Shui Zilan's departing figure, reluctant to look away. Zhuang Bai patted his shoulder, all right, you'll see her again soon. Chu Shang scratched his head, old Zhuang, what do you think of Sister Zilan? Zhuang Bai pondered for a moment, she's beautiful and thoughtful, very nice. Chu Shang asked, do you think I have a chance? Zhuang Bai looked him up and down, making Chu Shang feel uneasy. Chu Shang couldn't help but shout, old Zhuang, what do you mean? Zhuang Bai laughed, just kidding. Shui Zilan doesn't seem to dislike you, so keep trying. You have a good chance. Encouraged by Zhuang Bai, Chu Shang felt confident. Chu Shang declared, all right, I'll definitely marry Sister Zilan. Zhuang Bai chuckled, good luck, I'm rooting for you. Chu Shang suddenly said, old Zhuang, I think Sister Ching Fei is also nice and suits you well. Zhuang Bai glared at him, are you full? You haven't even settled your own matters and you're worrying about mine. Chu Shang retorted, we're brothers, it's natural for me to be concerned. I'm serious, you and Sister Ching Fei really suit each other. Zhuang Bai remained silent, not saying anything. Chu Shang persisted, I can tell you like her. If you don't mind, I can. Shut up, Zhuang Bai interrupted him and flew towards another stone tablet. Chu Shang scratched his head, muttering, if you like her, just say so. Why be so secretive? I don't think Sister Ching Fei dislikes you either. Suddenly, Zhuang Bai stopped. From his heartfelt puppet, Chu Shang's voice came through, including his muttering. Zhuang Bai's expression became complicated. The heartfelt puppets could transmit sound. So, Ching Fei and Shui Zilan must have heard it too. Zhuang Bai sighed inwardly, deciding not to say anything. At this moment, Ching Fei and Shui Zilan also had complicated expressions. They didn't know what to say, so they remained silent. Lin Moyu, far away, also heard the conversation through the skeleton generals and couldn't help but laugh. The cooperation among the 4 had led to such an interesting situation. But thinking about it, they did seem well matched. Contestant number 2 has entered the first layer. Contestant number 4 has entered the first layer. Contestant number 5 has entered the first layer. Contestant number 11 has entered the first layer. Contestant number 13 has entered the first layer. One prompt after another appeared, and all 5 of Zhuang Bai's group had entered the first layer. Now, in the second layer, besides Lin Moyu, there were 5 people left. They were contestant number 7 and number 12 from Divine City, contestant number 14 from the War God Hall, and contestants number 17 and number 18 from the White Tiger Star Domain. Lin Moyu had seen these people before, and the one who left the deepest impression was contestant number 18, Hu Tian. Hu Tian was somewhat similar to Chu Shang, straightforward and left a good impression on Lin Moyu. Another one was contestant number 17, Bai Xiao. Lin Moyu hadn't interacted with him, but judging by his ranking, his strength was not inferior to Hu Tian's. Both of them were dark horses who had fought their way up from the preliminaries, defeating seeded players and forcefully entering the top 16. Contestant number 7 and number 12 from Divine City had their brilliance overshadowed by Dongfang Zi, but they were still very strong, at least stronger than the two from the White Tiger Star domain. The contestant from the War God Hall was also not weak. Although ranked 14th, with the secret techniques of the War God Hall, the outcome of a fight would be hard to predict. In terms of strength, the second layer couldn't hold them back. If they followed the rules, they could all enter the first layer. But now, Lin Moyu had become an unexpected factor. Lin Moyu held the remaining 6 tokens. With the advantage of his undead army, he had gathered all the remaining tokens. Now, if the 5 wanted to get tokens to enter the next layer, they had to find Lin Moyu. Hu Tian was the first to come, bringing Bai Xiao with him. He had some experience from a previous transaction with Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu had obtained the tokens but hadn't eliminated them, so his purpose was clear. When Hu Tian arrived, he lowered his stance slightly and got straight to the point. Junior brother Lin, name your price. Bai Xiao was a bit unaccustomed at first, but since Hu Tian had already spoken, he didn't say much. Now, he had only 2 choices, either buy the token from Lin Moyu or be eliminated. Being eliminated this way was something he couldn't accept, but buying the token also felt unsatisfactory. Lin Moyu tossed a token to Hu Tian. You don't need to buy it. This one is for you. As for him, the conditions are the same as yours. Hu Tian's eyes lit up, and he whispered a few words to Bai Xiao. Bai Xiao's expression was complex, clearly not expecting that what Lin Moyu needed was this. Following Hu Tian's example, Bai Xiao recorded all his insights on the power of faith onto a jade tablet. He also handed over all the information he had collected on the power of faith to Lin Moyu in exchange for a token to enter the next layer. The two thanked Lin Moyu and left happily with their tokens. The 4 domain lords watched this scene, and Bai Binger, the master of the White Tiger Star domain, breathed a sigh of relief. I thought this kid would ask for an exorbitant price. Zhu Tian chuckled, he knows his limits. Wu Da disagreed, I don't think it's about knowing his limits, he knows exactly what he needs. Thinking about it, it seemed true. Lin Moyu had been very purposeful from the beginning, probably having thought it through at the start of the transaction. Yi Qingshan said, he needs insights on the power of faith, which the White Tiger Star domain excels at. So, what will he ask from Divine City and the War God Hall? Zhu Tian laughed, what do you think Divine City and the War God Hall have? The 3 domain lords were startled, roughly guessing what Lin Moyu would want. Lin Moyu indeed knew exactly what he needed. During these days, while chatting with Xu Jianxing, Xu had mentioned some characteristics of Divine City. There were some special areas in Divine City where one could obtain special materials. These materials were numerous, and their properties couldn't be detected even with detection techniques. Their levels were also unclear, similar to a mysterious iron block Xu Jianxing had once obtained. Lin Moyu now wanted these materials. Whether they were useful or not, having them was good. Xu Jianxing had said that although these materials were rare, they weren't considered precious due to their unknown uses. Generally, cultivators from Divine City would have a few pieces. When the 2 from Divine City came to him, Lin Moyu straightforwardly stated his request. They readily agreed to the exchange. To Lin Moyu's surprise, he received 2 more iron blocks identical to the one Xu Jianxing had given him. It seemed these iron blocks were not uncommon. As for the War God Hall, Lin Moyu asked for a secret technique. The War God Hall had many legacies, most of which were obtained after exterminating other races. Among these legacies were many secret techniques. These secret techniques had been modified and could be used by the human race, such as the great strength secret technique seen in previous battles. Some secret techniques were very precious and not shared, while others could be shared and were often used as rewards. Lin Moyu asked for a secret technique called the Purple Gold Body, a body refining technique from the now extinct Purple Gold race. The Purple Gold Body was naturally unsuitable for human cultivation. Later, human predecessors had studied it and tried to modify it. However, the modification results were not satisfactory, and the human race had no intention of pursuing physical sanctification. Ultimately, the Purple Gold Body became one of the less precious secret techniques in the War God Hall, accessible to almost all members. Trading it now wouldn't cause any issues. After completing the transactions, Lin Moyu finally used his privilege to enter the first layer. The atmosphere in the first layer was somewhat gloomy and oppressive. Dongfang Zi was the first to enter the first layer and was currently healing his injuries. After a fierce battle, although he had defeated his enemies, he was also injured. His eyes were filled with ferocity, mixed with shock and panic. The enemies in the first layer are so strong. Shortly after entering the first layer, he encountered the first wave of enemies. To be precise, he didn't encounter them, they came directly to him. It was a 100-member team of the Golden Eagle race. Among them, 99 were at the 9th stage of the God King level, and the leader was a minor God Sovereign. Dongfang Zi didn't take such a team seriously because the minor god sovereign was much weaker than him. However, as soon as the battle started, he realized something was wrong. The Golden Eagle race had formed a battle formation, combining everyone's strength into one. Moreover, the Golden Eagle race was extremely fast, making it impossible for him to dodge. After a fierce battle, although he defeated his opponents, he was also injured. Dongfang Zi gritted his teeth. If this continues, the giant beasts here might reach the peak of the minor god sovereign level, making them difficult to deal with. I might win using secret techniques, but it would come at a cost. After thinking for a while, Dongfang Zi made a decision. An hour later, his injuries were mostly healed. In the dim world, a golden light appeared, making Dongfang Zi tense up. Someone was coming again. His injuries had just healed, and now someone else was coming. Without thinking, Dongfang Zi immediately retreated. But the Golden Eagle race was faster than him, catching up in an instant, and another fierce battle erupted.